Hi, Womanagers, and welcome back to Womanaging. Today, we are going to be doing our second solo episode, which I am so excited about. Today is the 22nd, so I posted my first solo episode today, and I feel content with it. When I first started podcasting, I knew doing solo episodes would be a challenge. I knew interviewing people would help me with the content, obviously, because that's what I want to create. But also I was in the mode of, well, nobody cares what I have to say, which is such a terrible way to think about myself. But I released the first episode today on imposter syndrome, of course, after what I just said. And I'm really proud of it. And it's really inspired me to make more solo episodes. So I'm really excited for the future. But today we have a special solo episode and one that I am really excited about. I have been prepping for it for about 2 weeks now, but it's been one I've been going back and forth on, trying to figure out how I want to phrase it. I don't want to offend anyone, even be like mean to myself because I'm a part of this community that I'm going to talk about today, but it needs to be talked about. Not trying to leave you in suspicion, but what we're going to talk about today has dealt with a lot of misogyny, still does, and everyone's going to really relate to it in some way or another. My stories about it and who I am and what it makes me have really changed over the past couple of years, but I'm going to stop the suspense. Today we are talking about an art form, art that is used to express yourself, your life experiences, or others that were important to you, whether it be a human or an animal. It's art that symbolizes you or a time in your life or something in your life, or maybe something you just genuinely liked. Today we are going to be talking about tattoos. To be more specific, women who are tattooed. Now, I will start with sharing my experiences being a tattooed woman. Mind you, I am 22 and I have been getting tattooed for 4 years now. So I'm still technically a baby to the tattoo world by a long stretch, right? I started getting tattoos right when I turned 18. So I've only been doing it for 4 years. Like, that's nothing. That's the length of a degree someone gets or a high school career, right? It's not that big yet. But yeah, I have had so far, if we're doing the anatomy of me, my left arm is completely done. I have my grandfather's writing on there. I have my Nana's birthday. I have Myers, Thompson. So my dad and my mom's last name on my arm. I have flowers all down this arm symbolizing where I grew up in Morgantown and all the wildlife that was there. I have a butterfly on my elbow. I have the Mac Miller Divine Feminine mirror. And then I just have some random dots on my fingers because I just like them. I also have on my ankle Alaska because Alaska is a big part of my life and it's growing as it comes. I have a lot of family in Alaska. It's a beautiful place and I have a lot of homage to it. I have portraits on my right arm right now. So I have my Nana and Pa on Christmas Eve, I want to say. And it's a picture of them looking at each other and laughing. It's a great just moment in time. I have my mom and dad's wedding picture on my arm because it's such a beautiful, raw moment of them. I have my Grandma Wanda portrait on my arm being a working woman in Alaska during the 1980s. It's from a newspaper article. It's super cool. I have also my kneecap done on my left side. It is a more traditional looking one compared to the fine line I have. And then I just got done my stomach Tuesday. So that's my most recent one. So it's my stomach/sternum. I'm going to unbutton my pants just because it's literally in so much pain. But this is where we're at right now. We're definitely in the healing mode, but I'm really excited because these are all carnations and marigolds. So they represent my aunts. So they're their birth month flowers. So yeah, we're on day 2 of healing and she's healing pretty good, but definitely still hard to wear jeans. These are standing jeans already, mind you. And I have been unbuttoning my pants every chance I get today. I don't want to wear sweats anymore. I don't want to wear leggings. I want to feel like a human being and wear jeans. But that's not the point. The point is my tattoos. What I want to say about my tattoos is They mean a lot to me. They have a lot of meaning to them. I have some tattoos that don't have any meaning either. And that's okay, right? I feel a lot of people will say, if there's no meaning, don't get it. No, that's not true. You can still like something and still get it as a tattoo. I mean, my kneecap, the flowers on my kneecap, I just like, right? Like, it's not some huge symbolic thing. The all of these like little dots on my fingers, they mean nothing. It's just ornamental, right? It's beautiful. It's just an aesthetic thing for me. And I love every minute of it. I love having them. I don't regret it at all. I don't regret my tattoos that have deeper meaning. I think they're beautiful. So that's what I have on me right now after 4 years of tattooing. I have a piece I'm getting next week, and it's going to be a massive hawk on my side because hawks were really prevalent in my life, and I saw them a lot in childhood, and they have a deeper meaning to me, but that's my next piece. It's going to be a longer one. I am slowly getting prepared for it. So that's where I'm at on my tattoo journey. So I just wanted to update you for those who didn't know. I also thought this was important because I went to one of the stores I manage, the Greenwood location, and I am very cold-blooded. I always have a long shirt on. I have long pants on. I usually have a hat on. I'm going to rebutton my jeans because somebody's going to take a clip of this and take it the wrong way. But my stomach is hurting. Anyways, when I went there once, I had a short sleeve shirt on because I was working in the kitchen. And one of the girls that worked for me was like, I didn't even realize you had any tattoos. And I was like, what? I feel like a lot of people comment on them. And she had said, oh, yeah, no, I had no idea. I'm so interested in them now. Please, like, tell me. And it was a really nice moment, right, for someone to recognize me without my tattoos. They were very fascinated. They had no idea. It's interesting how that works. And for some people, you'd say, well, you're getting the tattoos for the attention, right? Like, you should expect it. No, it's for myself, right? Like, a lot of people say that's for themselves. But yeah, I had that moment a couple weeks ago, and it was really sweet. I liked it. It was nice to share my story. Sometimes it's bittersweet because they're so deep, but I like the conversation around tattoos. I always have. My dad has them, and that is the only person in my immediate family that has had them. So it's just me and my dad who have tattoos. No one else in like my household. I have family like cousins that have tattoos, but it's different, right? They live far away. I don't see them every day. But I also plan to finish my right arm with more portraits, and I am super excited for that. But what I want to talk about is more of my experiences being in the tattoo shop. When I first got mine done at 18, I went to this tattoo shop, and it was just when I found on my way home from the gym once, and I was like, I'm going to get a tattoo. Whatever. Walked in, and it was a bunch of guys. And I kind of knew what I was walking into, right? I was a small 18-year-old blonde girl walking into a big tattoo studio with a bunch of burly guys tatted from head to toe. When I walked in, it was like the record stopped, right? They were like, everything went dead silent. All those boys were messing around. And I shouldn't even say boys, they were men. They were just messing around, and they just all looked at me like I had a second head. I went up to the counter super confident because I knew what I wanted. It was my grandfather's handwriting. That was my first tattoo. I remember going up there and being like, hi, I am looking to get a tattoo. It is my grandfather's writing. It is very quick and easy. Here is the paper. I was super like prepared. This is how old I am. I had my ID out, and I'd love to get it done with you guys. I don't think they knew what to say, right? Because I was so prepared, and they were like, okay, like, let's scan your ID. I came back a week later and got it done. When I went in to get it done, I felt like everyone was kind of like walking on eggshells around me. And no offense to them or where I got my tattoo at, right? It was just like they weren't used to me being there. I never saw another woman tattooing in there. I never saw another woman walk in there or at an appointment. So it was very male-centric, harsh colors, harsh decorations, harsh words being thrown around, which I probably talk the same way now, so I can't even say that. But yeah, I remember getting finished up and him be like, oh, do you now want more tattoos? I'd love to do another one on you. And it was like kind of like a little sexual, and it upset me, right? Because I was like, this is almost like going to a doctor's appointment. You're a client, you're a guest, you're a patient. I'm not coming here for that. I'm coming here to get artwork done. So that's when I really knew that my connection with my tattoo artist needed to be very like well connected, well preserved. And that's when I started going to somebody full time. I started going to Miles when it was the Rue Morgue, and I go to Adam now, and they are amazing people. I would recommend them to the day I die. They did amazing work on my body. So if there's one thing I will say about getting tattoos as a 22-year-old girl, is find someone that you really like and trust. Go to them. Find someone that you can make real conversation with, or if you don't want to make conversation during them, find someone that's comfortable, you maybe putting headphones in. And it's an experience. You're going there for the experience. You're going there to have something on your body forever. They're going to be with you forever, these people that are doing your tattoos. So pick the right person. Don't go into the random tattoo shop. It's not worth your time. What I also want to bring up after my experiences is how I was perceived in the workplace, right? I started my real estate career when I was 19. And I remember my first real like big brokerage interview. It was in Indy. I remember getting ready, and I remember thinking to myself, should I show my tattoos? I had very little ones at that point. And at that moment, I was thinking about, am I biased towards myself? Do I really think I'm not going to get the job because of my tattoos or what people think of me or perceive as me? I had that ingrained in my head, and I was like, I need to get rid of this, right? It was just my community. It was what I grew up in. It was the social norms. I remember specifically picking out a short sleeve dress shirt for that day, and I went in there and I was ready to go. I remember meeting with my boss for that brokerage. He did not once comment on my tattoos, and I got the job there right on the spot. Now, what I want to take from this is show your tattoos. It does not define you when it comes to a work culture. I'm so grateful I got that job, and it gave me so much like great insight on the real estate world and education. And I got it with showing my tattoos. So if one of your worries is, I don't want to get tattoos because of a professional standpoint, it's not like that anymore. It really isn't. I do business every day. I have tattoos. It's fine, right? As a woman, I feel like we're already perceived in a higher standard when it comes to our physical appearance. So tattoos were always another thing that we have to worry about. Not just our outfits, not just if we're wearing makeup, not if we're wearing the right outfit attire for dress code or hair's up. It doesn't matter now. It's fine. I also want to touch on another thing that sticks out in my professional career, and it's more of a negative experience, but it's one that I want to share because it's really upset me more than I should have let it. But I was bartending once, and this guy was drinking just beers. He'd probably been drinking at another spot before. He was a little loosey-goosey, and I went to set down a beer in front of him. And this is like the second or third beer I'd poured him, and he had said, do you have tattoos on your hands? I said, yeah, I had just gotten this done, right? He asked me why. I said I liked the designs of the dots, and these were my parents' last names, right? Meant a lot to me. I won't be a Myers forever. I was never a Thompson. So I just wanted those engraved on my arm because those meant a lot to me and to the people that held those last names. He then goes, you are never going to get a real job with those tattoos on your hands. This episode is brought to you by Studio Space Franklin, a bright, welcoming studio made for creatives and small business owners. Whether you're planning a photo shoot, filming content, recording a podcast like me, or just need a quiet, beautiful space to focus and create, Studio Space Franklin makes it easy. The studio features gorgeous natural lighting, Versatile backdrops, flexible setups, and props for just about any season or brand vibe, all with simple, stress-free booking. Studio Space Franklin is owned and operated by Kara Wagner of Miss Kara Photography, a fellow small business owner who truly gets it. You can rent the studio on its own or book Kara as your photographer or videographer to help bring your vision to life. With experience since 2008, she's worked with families, brands, events, headshots, and more. A woman-owned studio supporting other creatives and small business owners? We love to see it here on Womanaging. Ready to book the space, book Kara, or both? Visit misskaraphotography.com/Studio Space Franklin. That's Miss MISS Kara CARA photography.com/Studio Space Franklin. Go support. Thanks, guys. He then goes, you are never going to get a real job with those tattoos on your hands. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, I'm doing real estate at the time. I'm also a server. I'm also a bartender. And I said, this hand poured your beer. I have real jobs. And I don't need you to judge my tattoos. And I didn't serve him after that. I was like, you can go. Right? Like, that is so rude. Like, why would you say that to your bartender? And you don't know anything about me. So you said drawings on my hands were going to stop me from getting a real job. Also, what defines a real job? Like, you're sitting at a bar in the middle of the day drinking. Like, don't judge me. But that experience really upset me. Like, as a younger woman, this guy was an older guy in his 50s. He said that to me. I'm like, well, why would you feel comfortable to say that to me, right? Like, that's disgusting. So that's one of my more negative experiences about tattoos. I think nobody really says that about men. I've never heard anyone, like any guy that I work with that has a tattoo, I've never heard a negative connotation about his tattoos from customers, from coworkers. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I have been told that if I was a man, I was like, hey, dude, how's the sports game going while I was serving your beer? Like, I don't feel like that would have even came up. So that's where I see a lot of the misogyny with women in tattoos. That's when I really started to realize where it was coming from. So when I was researching this episode, I started to do a little researching, Googling, only using .org websites, by the way, so don't come for me. And these are some of the stats that I came up with. So right now, 38% of women compared to men, which is the 27%, have at least one tattoo. So more women than men have at least a tattoo right now in society. With women, 56% of women in the age group 18 to 29 have tattoos. 53% of women in the age group of 30 to 49 have tattoos. So you're seeing a general increase in a generational feeling on tattoos, right? More people are getting them in each generation, slowly but surely. I think because we're being more accepting of others getting tattoos. And we are also accepting our own wants as women, right? Like, for you to permanently mark on your body as your choice is showing autonomy, right? They don't like it when women show autonomy in any way. That's why probably a lot of men don't like women who get tattooed. Another thing I saw or was thinking about when I was researching was, how do I see men getting tattooed? And when I thought about it, before I got tattooed, I saw men as, oh, they're manly, they're tough. Getting a tattoo, they can handle the pain. No, I've seen a lot of men really freak out in the tattoo chair when I've gone. And I'm not saying I haven't seen women do it too. I've seen some women do it too, but I see more men do it, right? They're way more sensitive to the needle. For me, I don't think the pain is too bad on a personal note. I think the pain on my rib cage 2 days ago, if you asked me right after, I'd be like, my stomach's on fire. But it's so worth it. It's literally such minimal pain for something that you'll have for the rest of your life. It's sacrifice. And then I was thinking about, what do people think about, or what is society's view on women with tattoos? And I looked in kind of to the pop culture media of it, what I had when I was a kid that would form my opinions. And when I was looking back on it, I didn't have any celebrities that I was following have tattoos. And it was not mainstream. Mind you, I'm Gen Z, so still a baby. But yeah, I didn't know any celebrities that were women that had a tattoo. And for me, I thought, I thought tattoos were manly and tough. So I wanted to make sure my sleeve wasn't masculine when I got it done, which is insane now that I think about it. Tattoos are not masculine nor feminine. They're just to express yourself. And I was thinking in misogynistic societal norms about sexuality and sex and gender. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I was so hard on myself when designing my sleeve because I didn't want to look manly. I wanted to be a feminine vibe. And I did what I wanted, right? But it was so skewing of what were they going to think of me as a woman with tattoos? And it's so sad that people have to think like that, right? I also thought back to something that was really popular, which was a quote by Kim Kardashian, which love the Kardashians, no hate by this. You wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. And that is a world famous quote by her, by the way. Like everyone knows that episode of the Kardashians if you're Gen Z. And I hear a lot of people reference it. A tattoo is not a bumper sticker, right? Like a bumper sticker is like, I stop. Something so like I stop for this or my kid's in honor roll. Like no, like tattoos have a way bigger meaning to be permanently on your body than a bumper sticker that's off a car that you won't have for your whole life. Nobody keeps a car for their whole life. Like the bumper sticker, like it deteriorates. That's such a dumb way to think of it, honestly. But Kim Kardashian now has a tattoo on her lip, so I mean, people evolve. I also thought about how there was a movie. Oh, it was the girl with the dragon tattoo and how she was edgy and different. And she had this tattoo and she was so mysterious. And I was just like, why is that the only thing we're seeing in the media about women with tattoos? Like, it's so dumb. I thought it was so weird. I also see a lot on TikTok still, like, if this girl has this tattoo, she's crazy. Like, if you have a girl that has a rose tattoo or a butterfly tattoo, run now. I'm like, that is such a huge stereotype. Like, let's relax here for a second, okay? And then I went into it. Does tattoos have any comparison or any, like, what's the word for it? Any connection to mental health? A study done by Kathleen Thompson with the Science Direct said that based off of differences in age, parental, even relationship statuses, tattooed women were just as psychosocially healthy as non-tattooed women. So there was nothing that was saying or correlating that women that had more tattoos, no matter what generation they were, what they were at in their relationship status, or what their childhood was like, affected who had tattoos, how it didn't matter. It's scientific proof right there. So when I see people commenting on women with tattoos, I just think it's so dumb. I feel like we are already judged enough. Why are you judging women more for a tattoo? Mine are not harming anyone. I don't have any cuss words on my body. I just feel like it really accentuates my body and makes me feel more confident, right? I mean, women and self-esteem, it's a never-ending cycle. It's awful. Like the self-esteem problems that women have in America right now is so sad. I mean, we're constantly comparing ourselves to our hair, to our makeup, to what we're wearing, to what we're achieving, to where we're at in our life. Why are we doing another disservice to women by judging them with tattoos? It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And that really went into the more like philosophical part of it, where it was like people don't like it when women have autonomy, right? Making a permanent mark on your body is a huge expression of autonomy. It shows I made this decision. I wanted this. Now I have this forever. And now everyone has to look at it. That's autonomy right there. I mean, the whole world that we live in right now is so against women autonomy. It's insane. Now that women are more capable of getting tattoos and feel more confident in themselves for getting tattoos, people are now having a more negative reaction. And if anything, I see women now supporting women with tattoos more. Like, honestly, if I got a compliment from a woman about my tattoos, I love it way more than a man like giving me a compliment on my tattoos, because half the time they're like, oh, looks like you can handle the pain if you get a tattoo. Like, ew, shut up. and just say a regular compliment, right? What I will also say is I'm not trying to just drag men that judge women's tattoos or just drag men in general by this, right? I only have male tattoo artists. What I will say is that I was absolutely blessed with the male tattoo artists that I have, like Adam Stoner, Miles Haysmith. Like they have been so respectful towards me, never made me feel uncomfortable, had given me their best work, right? Absolutely amazing. And even when I had Jamie on, so this episode will air after Jamie Zimmerman's episode. She even said, she's like, I'd rather tattoo women. Like, it is what it is. It's nothing against men. You just rather tattoo women. And that's okay. What I also will say is that even though tattoos are a permanent decision, they do not define anyone, especially women. Yes, it is making a statement with our autonomy, but we are so much more than a physical appearance. Your tattoos don't define your education, your thoughts, your beliefs, your spirit, your soul. It does not define you in any way. So that's what I will end my episode on today about women with tattoos. I know it's a little hodgepodge of everything, but I like having the stats about women and tattoos and all of the psychological stuff. What I will end with is the reason why women get tattoos scientifically. And 69% of women get tattoos that honor/remember someone or something. 47% make statements about beliefs, and the other 32% enhance appearance. Like, that's all way over 100%. But some of those overlap, right? So, like, if anything, we're doing it for others or for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I love tattoos. They're so versatile and beautiful. It's just another form of art. So let's not take it so seriously anymore, right? Girls, get the tattoo you want. It's not that deep. You'll still get the job you want. With that being said, that is me, the Womanagers' opinion on women with tattoos. And with that also being said, I want to say that I am doing a flash event with Jamie Zimmerman at Postmortem Tattoo Parlor, February 13th, Friday the 13th. And we will be doing flash. My bar cart will be there. Greek's Pizzeria will be there. Tam will be there doing tarot readings. I will have piercings. And then Onyx Studio will be coming as well. They will be doing tooth gems and permanent jewelry. And then also I have Black Cat's curations and oddities. And I'm just so excited that they're coming. It's going to be so fun. I just love them. I reached out to them and they're really excited to come. So with that being said, here's your opportunity to get your tattoos, girls. I'll be there. I will be selling drinks. I'll be helping people get through the lines and helping you find some cool little oddities with my vendors. So thanks for listening. I will see you next time on When You Listen to Womanaging, and maybe I'll see you Friday the 13th in February. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.